Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to Formula Racing League TV YouTube channel for the first round of the Taco Tuesday. The Popular Championship is back again for season 21, the first championship alongside the Sprint Sunday of 2026. It all starts as the same as we seen last Sunday here at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit in South Africa. I'm Andrea Mattavelli, as known as F1 GT Fisichella, and I'll be commenting with you for the next 1 hour and a half of action here at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. Opening round of the Taco Tuesday series, season 21, and believe me, it will be very packed here in the Tier 1 category with lot of great drivers, champions, stars of the sim grade and of the sim racing in general, and will be all here racing battling hard for taking the #1 spot already in the start of the new season. Of course, you have joined me with minus 7 minutes of free practice left, so I can show you a little bit more about the drivers we'll be seeing today and in the remaining 7 rounds of this championship, which I hope will be packed with an intense title fight. As of course, Tier 1 will be reserved to the Pro and Silver drivers, who will be all racing here under the same etiquette. They're all white numbers, as you can see from the ranking on my left. It will be very interesting to see how they will battle, because I know there is Tier 1 and Tier 1 Pro and Tier 1 Silver, but let me assure they all very fast, as you can see already from the times of the free practice. For now, in first place in the free practice, waiting of course for the official qualifying session, we have Sergio Hernandez, a Spanish driver for a Velocity team in the McLaren, who's won 2 races in the season 20, so the last Taco Tuesday season of 2025, that has come in 9th place after winning the opening round and the 5th round. Quick driver, but also inconsistent. Let's see if he can improve his consistency to try to take a better chance to the title. Also, we have here, always with the Pro tier, Adam Sharpie, British driver on the McLaren, also very competitive. Reminder that he had won 1 race in season 18 and 2 in season 19, both with McLaren. For season 20, he went with the Honda NXX GT3 Evo to try to mix the things up, to try to improve his performance. But after a tricky season 20 campaign, he decided to go back to walking back on the 720S GT3 Evo to try to fight for the victory and try to fight, of course, for the title. Of course, all eyes also on the German driver, the German superstar, Irish on the Bentley 404. Bentley Continental prepared by M Sport. Reminder that Irish was the champion of the last opening season 2025, the Taco Tuesday season 16, which he won 5 of 6 races to claim the title. A very force of nature during that season. Then he won only 1 race in season 17, but he will be eager to start the year with another strong campaign and to try to take back the #1 spot here, starting from Kyalami. Of course, we have also other drivers who are worth watching, and I'm sure you will be eager to watch in action, as we see. For example, we have of course, here it is, Gordon Brown, strong driver, admin for Formula Racing League TV, when the Ferrari 296 GT3 number 134. who's now standing in 18th place. Let's see, he can go up to the rankings. He goes up but 2 places, slots into 16th place, ahead of Mulder and of Pospisil. And talking about these drivers, I've seen personally in action about in the DK multi-class special event of last year. We see also some familiar faces because we see Pospisil in the portion now of the Rootronic Racing, as you can see from the entry list of the Pro Tier 1. We also seen Mike Osto, the winner of the DK Monte class, even though from now I don't see it on track, so it might be one of the missing drivers to the action, because he's only one of the Aston Martin on this field. So maybe worth checking when he gets back, because it will be very interesting to watch as well. Then we have 2 provers taking part in this season, both in Pro Tier 1, with Jack Prentice and Luke Prentice, as we both see with the Bentley Continental. Luke Prentice, here it is in number 26. Very different colors from the 2 brothers. Also, we've seen some Italian figures. This time they are all from Tier 2. Tier 2 from Serafino Gerbino in the Lamborghini Huracan and Marcolino in the Ferrari. So now we're at the bottom, but let's watch then for the Tier 2, the silver drivers who will participate this year from the Taco Tuesday Tier 1 Championship. The Sharpie back in the box after putting the 5th fastest time of the free practice. Then we see Irish of the Bentley Continental still trying to put some laps in the Bentley Continental. Before continuing, I hope it's all okay for the microphone, for the audio. Hoping I have all sorted out, since we saw in the DK Monte class that I got some problems about the quality, the volume of my audio. This time that should be all sorted out, and so I hope everything it goes all right. It's a checker flag on the free practice session, so we're waiting to see all the drivers finish the lap to then go straight into qualifying action. As you can see, Sergio Hernandez is the top spot with 1 minute 41.1, followed by Hagemans on the Ford Mustang, 0.3 seconds behind. Then 4 attempts to look in the first of the Bentley, Gerling in the Ferrari. Then the 2 McLaren, so Sharpie and Godefroy in 5th and 6th. Then in 7th we have German, then Irish, Hafner, Wozes, we had the Angelis in 11th ahead of Van der Waal, who got the checker flag now and goes up into 5th place in the brown McLaren. Then we see if there is also some other drivers. We see there is a Porsche of Ack, number 22, who's finishing the lap. So we'll have to wait for the timer for a little bit more, just a little bit. Montes Ack, Ukraine driver, who's cheating in the Tier 2 silver drivers for this season. In the Taco Tuesday, of course, he competed season 20 as a Tier silver. Same for all the figures like Mike Austin, Mark Rodino, Serafino Giambino, and the same for the Ukrainian driver. Mike also finished P3 in the Tier 1 Silver before being promoted to the Pro Tier. Marcolino, Serafino, Gerbino are among the top drivers in the rankings. And now the timer is reset and it starts the session of qualifying. 50 minutes for the determine the starting grid for the opening round of the Season 21 of Tiago Tuesday Championship here on Assetto Corsa Competizione Crossplay. They're all exiting down the pit lane. We'll see who gets the better of the 4.2 of the 4.5 kilometers track located in Midrand, Gauteng in South Africa, home of the Formula 1 South Africa Grand Prix from, of course, 1967 to 1985 and 1992 and 1993 years, and of course, most importantly, home of the Kyalami 9 hours trial round of the Intercontinental GT Challenge, who have come at Assetto Corsa Competizione via the Intercontinental GT DLC pack. One of my favorite tracks because it's easy to apprehend but difficult to master because there are so many braking points, challenging corners, and of course the up and downs, especially in the second and last sector, who really test you and the ability to put on the brakes, the acceleration, to try to take the terrain at advantage. We see how these drivers will do in 50 minutes qualifying action. We will see all for all. There's no multi-class, there is no shenanigans. It's only you, the track, and the lap time to try to be the fastest around the circuit. And so we begin. Sergio Hernandez, the fastest in the free practice. It's also the first to try to put a valid lap time here around the South African circuit. And there are already some yellow flags. I see that someone has taken a trap of the bump of the curb on the return 15, the cheetah corner. Of course, the curb on the sausage curb on the inside of turn 15 on the right. If taken too aggressively, can send your car up in the air and completely on the barriers. So that's one of the challenges that the drivers will have to face, especially when there is a situation of racing with other cars. So we'll be looking for this one. Also, this is one of my favorite sections, New Cop, turn number 10 and turn number 11, which you have to brake as late as possible, but not really late. Otherwise, you get understeer and go straight into the grass or into the outside, and then try to launch yourself into the crocodiles, turn 13 and turn 14. Of course, in this instance, in this track, you have to take the limits, know the limits of the track, and take it to your advantage. As Sergio Hernandez is doing, he counters a lot of tracking. Van der Waals is launching himself into a flying lap. Let's see if this compromise. Sergio Hernandez's first lap for now is a 1:14.7, and it's enough to be the fastest for now. Mueller is second, taken away by Hasgo by only 3,000 of a second. Girman now is ahead of both of them. Let's see now the principal, the chat with GT Jamie, who says it sounds great. Thank you, Jamie. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Let's see now Godefroy in second place in the McLaren black and yellow. Then Haji Mans in the fourth Mustang is a fourth place behind German. Volkmann fifth, Hasgo sixth, Müller with seven, Jack Prentice in eighth place, King in ninth. Of course, we have to wait for all the drivers to come into the finish line. Alan Sharpie, one of the next on this blue McLaren. Very extinguishable colors, very bright colors. The blue McLaren is now approaching the straight at the checker flag. It's P7 for now. Alan Sharpie. Irish, it's P3. 8 tenths behind Hernandez, who's really putting a really great performance on the opening lap of this qualifying action here at Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. The first 5 minutes of this session are already done. Less than 10 remaining, and the ranking, the timetable is already twisting and changing constantly. Volkmann P8, King goes back into P7, Pospisil in the Porsche is P5, German gets back into the top 5. There will be continuously changes and changes in the timetable until the checker flag falls in. And Deep Van der Wall his lap in the SC Deep Majusta. I think in mind it was a good lap by Van der Wall, who's P15 now, less than 2 seconds away from the polar time of Hernandez. Prentice is back into the pits as Van der Schutter and Chris Gerber are also into the pits. So there's also a little bit of strategy. Van der Waal goes sideways, almost losing the back of his McLaren into turn 10. That's not really pleasant, although it might have been quite a shock or fun for the Dutch driver. While up ahead, Hegemans put his Ford Mustang back into third place, but he's forced to go straight to avoid the Lamborghini Huracan, who might be of Gerbino. Yes, it is P20 for the Italian driver. He's trying, of course, to get better and better and try to get up to the ranking. In the Lamborghini with the British GT stickers up front. Of course, aside the reminders of Bauer Motorsport, a strong, very force of nature in the British GT Championship. Gerbino gets up into P20. Great work by the Italian driver. While we see De Angelis going up into P7. Golding going up into P7 as well. While Godefroy is back into the pits for changing tires after putting himself at only 1/10 behind Hernandez. So to see really tight already up front, while Hernandez lap, of course, really strong first lap. Might be good enough yet for the first pole position of the season. But again, now the Spanish driver who I remember had won 2 races in season 20. Very fast driver. Not much consistent, but is up to fix the teacher and try to challenge himself for the championship, even though the quality of the field is already really massive in this season. And having problems, Hegemans, I see. No, it's the other Ford Mustang of Serfontaine, with colors reminder of the proto competition car fitted by the German outfit in the GT World Challenge. While Hub to Racing Team, this last year sent the Mustang into the DTM and GT Challenge season. Of course, Ford Mustang were very popular when they were first introduced in ACC. In this season, we only got 2 in the P1, but if we decide to hold as one of the McLaren, I think might might be Godfrey. Yeah, no, it is the white McLaren, I think. King. No, it was Hernandez. It was Hernandez who was pushing really hard to try to better up his 1:40.7 lap time to try to get a more hold on his provisional pole position. Let's see if it will be enough by Hernandez on these recent lap times. While the action here continues, the Justa says second lap in the GT3. Thank you, Di Justa. I will be hoping to get more updates from the chat. If you can interact, then of course you can follow us on SimGrid on Twitch, while my colleague Crossman is doing the live streaming for the Tier 2 of the Attack Tuesday Season 21. And then of course if you want to stay with us, I'll be happy to stay here and bring you into the action, into the storylines of this season 21 of the Attack Tuesday. Irish back at it. The German driver is P3 for now, head of the Schwitzer Motorsport in the same grade. One of the most renowned teams in the platform, alongside former Racing League, of course. For now, it's 4 tenths behind Hernandez. It is trying to get the better of the Bentley Continental, prepared by M Sport for the British Mark stint in the GT3 category. Has taken much victories. It's gained status of icon for its mass and its forms. It is one of the cars that is really pleasant to drive, not maybe fast or agile, but it's very pleasant to drive because it's stable and it gives you the direction, like where you want the car to go. And Irish really trying to put everything into the Bentley, trying to get over the mass and the weight of the Continental to try to come closer to the front row, who is for now it's a 1-2 McLaren for Hernandez and Godfrey. Back for now in the Tier 2 category, where I think Matteo De Angelis is now leading. Hoping, of course, that there are no... De Angelis, but here goes a bang. Goes straight to the barriers after taking the curb of the Cheetah corner. So not much that you can do in that case. The Angelis qualifying might be over now. While we wait, of course, for the last attempt. Hygibanz takes his Von Mustang into P3. So ahead of Irish, who's now finishing his lap. Let's see if he can better. Someone got wide again at the same corner. Will be a team during this racing. Was the Bentley up ahead? I think of Tulloch or even Woodard. Let's see Irish if he improves. No, he stays P4. 1 minute and 34 at the end of the qualifying session. Godfrey, watch out because it's 4 tenths of a second. 45 thousandths of a second behind Hernandez, getting closer and closer. Let's see if it will be enough, as Sharpie has gone up into P5 in the McLaren. Great lap by the British driver, while Woodard has gone back into the pits, and that might be qualifying off for him. Hernandez not improved yet on his lap time. Let's see if Godfrey can make it count and try to steal the first place from him in his qualifying section. As we are approaching the end of this session, Godfrey at the Crocodiles, turn 13. Goes really wide to try to take all the curb, turn 14, all the track space. turn 15. That was the instruction of the guy to get out of the way because I'm doing a faster lap. Let's see if it is enough or... No, I don't think it was enough. So it's game over for Godfrey. He will not start on pole position. So it might be all done for Sergio Hernandez. Unless someone from behind want to improve dramatically. Dudok improves. Goes P3 ahead of Hegemans and Higers as the checkup flag falls behind. Higers cannot start a new lap, so he would get only P5 at best. Hegemans is in the pit alongside Sharpie. Let's see then behind with Volkman and Pospisil. Let's see the Czech driver with a Porsche of the Rutronic colors trying to stay in the top 10 for the race. I try to improve, if possible, with 992 GT3 car. Of course, you have also to look out for Volkman in the green Ferrari. Goes a little bit too wide, maybe got his lap tight deleted. Same for Pospisil, who re-enters the pits, so it's all over, as well as Volkman. So we have to see if there are other cars. Gerbidro is also in the pits, so there might be it. I see only Van der Waal and Theo De Angelis, but Van der Waal loses it and goes banged. So let's see if De Angelis is able to take pole position in the tier 2. I'll see if the drivers, because for now, he might be, he's behind Van der Waal, and he takes P12, so it's pole in tier 2 for Matteo De Angelis, who will start P12 from the overall grid, but it's pole position again for Sergio Hernandez, who on the last lap, he didn't need it, but he improved to 140.3 to take pole position on the opening round of the Taco Tuesday Season 21 Tier 1 Championship. Then is Godfrey in the second place to complete the front row. Then Tudok, Hegemans behind them, Irish in 5th place, getting 6th, Anna Sharp in 7th, Wazer in 8th, Volksman and Pospisil to round up the top 10. Of course, look at the quality of the grid. If it was not for Hernandez or Godfrey, you have to see from Tudok all the way down to Mueller, all in 1 second here at Kyalami. And that's how tight it is, how competitive is Assetto Corsa competizione, even to this day. So, with all the starting grid sorted out, it's a moment to take a break. We'll be back with you just a few moments from the starting of the formation lap. We're back on the starting grid of Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit, South Africa. Moments away from the start of the formation lap for the opening round of the Attack Tuesday Season 21. Of course, remember, Sergio Hernandez on pole position with Godfrey on the front row behind Tudor, Irish, Gerling and other drivers. Irish before, maybe we had the problems at the one of the four drivers, the one in P4 is presumably disconnected. I think it is, because it was Serfontaine, the South African driver, was P4, but it was disconnected. So it's a real shame for Serfontaine, who or no, because it's now P21, so
20 seconds.
It's another for the Mustang. I'm sorry, I tried to get it. It's Hagemans. I'm sorry, it's a Hagemans. Still a shame for the photo driver, because it was amazing with the P4 in the Mustang, and yet all this work undone moments before the start of the formation lap that will begin very shortly. Here it is, Hernandez leaving the grid, will be followed shortly by all the other drivers. You can see now, from the left the missing Ford, where Hernandez is leading the pack. So Hernandez ahead of Godfrey, Tudor, Irish, Gerling, Sharpie, Wooter, Volkman, Pospisil, and Christie in the number 141 McLaren enters the top 10 of the starting grid, of course, all due to a crash for Hagemans, who has left him out of the grid in initial procedures. Of course, we see then all the drivers trying to take all the last procedures, all the last waving to take tires and brake temperature, all to combat level, to try to fight for position, as then will be followed a 1 hour race, 60 minutes full of action here in South Africa, with one mandatory pit stop, as I recall. There will be lot to see, especially from the protagonists up ahead. Hernandez, Ayres, Sharpe, but also new possible protagonists like Godfrey, Tulloch, Garlinger, Wheeler, Volkman, also Pospisil, who after the DK battle Monte Carlo has taken well fighting up front with the elite of the elite, of the creme of the creme, is now will now try to maintain his position, try to have a strong finish today in the opening round with one of the three Porsches on today's grid. The drivers are past the turn 11. They're all going to the mineshaft. For now, it's still a single file, single line. But now look at it. They're all going some to left, some to right. This is a procedure for the double formation. So we are moments away from the start of a new season. I hope, as said, you're hoping, will be taking us glued to the seat until the last lap. So we're here, round one. Second on the pole, ahead the Godfrey, Tulloch, Irish, Gerling, Sharpie, Boozer, Volkman, Pospisil, Christie, and all of the others packed the grid with so much talent, so many drivers of personality, trying to take the way to the opening round of the season 21 Attack Tuesday. Opening round and season that will get underway.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Now, green flag, and now we start with Hernandez, who's aiming to retain the top spot after corner 1. Let's see, then to locate the bend, trying to take already down to the inside, while Godfrey almost trying to a little bit of contact. Someone has been spun around the back. Let's see, it was one of them clogging, while Hernandez has successfully retained the lead of the race. Godfrey in second, Tulloch in third, Irish in the fourth, and all of the others look for Irish. I meant for Tulloch. Irish has gone past Tulloch, so he's happy to be free. A mistake by the Bentley driver, who's now under pressure by Alan Sharpie in the McLaren, the blue McLaren. Particularly was the Ferrari of Asco, one of the cars who had a crash in the opening lap on the opening corner. Asco Heijimans, has successfully come back into the circuit, but he had to start way last. Tough luck for him. While Sharp is trying his best to get pressure for Tulloch. Well, let's see behind. Of course, after the start, there are a lot of a single line. Not much that you can do in this A-Stars, but we'll have to wait for opportunity. Someone going off, but for now, it's all clear in the first lap with Hernandez leading, Godfrey second, Irish in third, Tulloch on fourth, Sharp in fifth, and all of the others are following shortly behind. Very convincing opening lap by the Spanish driver, already up 8/10 on Godfrey on his first rival of today, while Irish is aiming to putting pressure right on the second place driver. So we'll see, because Irish, for who hasn't seen, it was really, really strong and dominant in the early season of 2025. Always talking about the Taco Tuesday series. Now he's back. He's aiming to reclaim the crown. For now, P3 behind Godfrey. Of course, they all have a pit stop, a mandatory pit stop to spend during the course of the race. And we see also from the strategy point of view, we'll get the better one. While watching behind, for now, not very much action. They all following the line. Of course, Kyalami, not very pleasant for the overtakes, especially on the first stages of the race, because they all have to follow a straight line almost. And we'll see it then when the pack will get divided, if we can see some battle interaction. Of course, the hot spot for the overtaking opportunity is turn 2, Crowthorne. Also, I think corner number 5, Barbecue, will be very good if you can manage a good exit from the turn 3 and 4. Then turn 10 and turn 13 should be good. Godfrey with a mistake. We've seen with 2 wheels on the grass, and Irish Tiger ready to mount pressure on the McLaren driver to try to claim second place in the process. While behind them, let's see if there are any opportunities. Ake, the Korean driver, pressing Hafner for P12. But at the same time, Ake is having to defend from Van der Slot, who's right up to his tail in the Ferrari. Let's see at turn 10. The Ferrari not very much giving any chance of rest for the Porsche driver. But for now, Ake has claimed some meters to take a rest and to try to reassess the situation. Because not helping for Ferrari is low top speed. He have to work his way into the corners. Oh, and there's a knock. There's certainly a knock from Van der Slate. From the slot was knocked on the bumper of Aken. As we see behind Volkmann, Van der Waal, Hasgo already coming to the pit to claim their mandatory pit stop. So the strategy is to get free track to hold for themselves. Let's see if this will work. But it will be go terribly wrong. Up ahead, it's all again a battle from Irish and Godfrey as Hernandez has gone up 1.8 seconds of gap between him and Godfrey. So it's pretty much Hernandez territory for the lead now. Godfrey not seeming to have the same level of pace of the Spanish leader. Irish was very quick indeed also, but let's see if he can manage to overtake the McLaren ahead of him. To see his pace, if he has any. While looking back, P9, P10, the Prentice brothers will take ahead of Luke. That's a good sight to see, as the Brotherhood is really trying to ignite a battle, to try to have fun in the opening stages of Kyalami, the two Bentley Continental. Bentley a popular choice apparently, considering also Irish and Tulloch took the Continental onto the track for this season. Jack and Luke behind Pospisil, right behind Luke, there's King in the McLaren. We have to talk about also the colors on the Jake, because green and pink combo is not really something we've seen so much in the motorsport into this date. It goes a little bit wide, corner number 5. So let's see if Luke will get the advantage of exit speed and try to take an attack on his brother for P9. But for now, they both went a little wide, so really not beneficial for either of them. As Giga Hafter try to get closer to the Bentley duo. Not very much attacking for now, not even from the brothers. Just a little bit ahead. Let's see if Gerding will have a go. Another Sharpie. Oh, seemed like he wanted to do the switcheroo, but Sharpie is good on positioning his car up into his trajectory. So, great to defend his position. And back. Oh, Gerding with some problem on the brakes, trying to brake late as usual. But it's not worked out. And look down to Weezer, who got up into his side of turn 1. The Bentley Continental has much more horsepower, but the Ferrari driver has a better braking power. Let's see who will get up ahead in corner 2. A nice battle, but it's Gerling who defends successfully his 6th position. Nice battle, nice duel between Gerling and Weezer. Born from a mistake of judgment for the Ferrari driver. Was trying to be beneficial using the horsepower of his Continental, but Gerling good in using his brakes and using his track position as his advantage, has successfully managed to defend 6th place. Let's see from behind if there are any battles, any evolution for the midfield. As Rainer, P16, trying to get behind Serfontaine. in the Ford Mustang P15, but goes a little bit wide, a little bit long on the brake. Let's see if Getman, the Formula Racing League admin, will have a go on Rainer for P16, the Porsche driver behind the Mercedes. Let's see if turn 13, the Crocodiles will be his opportunity hotspot, and he decided, I'm not having a go. Too risky, too risky. And so, oh wait, there's a yellow flag, yellow flag. Someone has fallen to the trap of the curb, and it is Wood, and it's Gerding trap off the sausage curb in the cheetah corner. Bad luck for the Ferrari driver, who now tumbles down the order. He crosses the line in P21, so he had to restart to reconstruct his whole race. Too bad for him. As we see up ahead, that we have 5 Bentleys in the top 9. 5 Bentleys in the top 9. Certainly one of the most popular choices, and so rightfully so, at least in Kyalami. Even though Irish cannot do anything to try to overtake Godfrey, who even if he's slower than Hernandez, is able to maintain second place from the German driver. Let's see behind. Gedman has managed, has not yet managed to get past Rainer. He's still behind the Mercedes driver for P15. That used this moment to get ahead inside of the Porsche driver. On board with Gedman. As we can see, Gedman really having some issues, really struggling to get a good exit, a good opportunity on Rainer for P15. As you can see, at the Porsche driver, really not having much of good exit speed to try and challenge the Mercedes driver into the braking hotspots. Let's see if now is the opportunity he was waiting for, but no, not yet. He stays on the outside, like as he doesn't want to try an overtake of Rainer. Oh, both got the sausage cab. Someone got off. Someone got his Ferrari driver number 87, but the slot got his Ferrari damage from the contact with the barriers. So P16 now. With the Ferrari, both Rainer and Gedman move up at the place. Meanwhile, Marcolino and Gerding and Gearman both into the pits. The Ferrari drivers, of course, for Gerding is the most needed of the pit stop for the week. It's a mistake at the cheetah corner. While Samuele Gerbino, look at him, battling from the BMW driver cockpit, who managed to overtake the Italian driver for P18. And someone went off again. It's Van der Slot again. So really not a lucky minute for the Dutch driver. while Colpitz managed to get past Gambino to take a P17. Very aggressive stuff from the BMW driver. While up ahead, nothing to take note for now. Above the Bentley, the Prentice brother with Luke trying again to have a word on the side of Jack. Oh, and both almost went wide into the cheetah corner. The greedy guy on a high pressure for the Bentley brothers. Jack Prentice ahead of Luke Prentice, batting out for P8, while in P3 and P2, Eigisch for now just cannot find a way to get past Godfrey. There's a stop-and-go penalty for exceeding the speed on the pit lane. Gearman, and that's an end of all this hope in today's race. Hernandez up 4 second gap to Godfrey, really dominating the race so far by the Spanish drivers, who we now take a look, because it's really top driving from Sergio Hernandez today. Well, to see if he manages to be consistent and to avoid any mistakes. Now let's have a look back on the midfield. Let's see if we have any other battle. Let's see Raider, because he successfully defended from Goldman, and now he's approaching into second time back. Looks like the Mercedes driver could be approaching an attack of the Ford Mustang driver for P13. Of course, we have to take mind that these drivers had to take a mandatory pit stop during the course of this race. Then Guka9 Tex Huka has just messaged us in the chat. Eigisch is a very fast driver. It is indeed Guka, it is indeed. But the problem is, as you can see, he cannot just find a low spot to try to overtake Godfrey. Let's see if he manages to invent something like the famous rabbit out of the cylinder, very popular Italian expression, or if he'll give up to the frustration and maybe try a desperate attack, or maybe another pit stop. Wide Godfrey at third. Maybe this is the chance that Eigisch has been waiting for, as now they approach the mine shaft. Eigisch with a better speed exit can try to take advantage into the crocodiles. It is inside. Godfrey breaks late, and he manages to hold in second position, but Eigisch is really up to his tail. And look, almost sliding as Eigisch really desperate to try to take the place ahead of Godfrey, while Sergio Hernandez is I have enough of it. 5.5 is the gap, really taking the long distance to the Spanish driver, while Eigisch really trying not to set to a dive bomb here. Not that it is correct, but after seeing so much maneuver, look into the power slide. Eigisch is really pushing hard now to try to take second place from the McLaren driver. Looks like he's really giving it all, almost with 2 wheels on the grass. Let's see again. Back into the SS. Turn 8 and 9. Let's see, Godfrey will go again long in the braking zone. Not this time, so Godfrey might be able to rest for now. Well, let's see, behind Raider, 6 steps behind Safontaine. So another duel might be igniting for P13 as Gelman is taking some distance, maybe to cool down his tires. Really linear race, of course. Kyalami not really known for this overtaking opportunity. Honestly, I was expecting a little bit more sponsoring for the drivers, but I wonder how the strategy will turn out. Godfrey into the pits, Godfrey with a mandatory pit stop, and Irish will be relieved now that he's all alone in P2, second place for the Bentley driver. Let's see if he manages to get the opportunity to try to be ahead of Godfrey after his mandatory pit stop. As now we await to see when will Godfrey get back on track, in which position. For now, the first driver on the after doing the mandatory pit stop was Volkmann, but as you can see, Godfrey already over with mandatory pit stop, so he re-enters the track on P23 ahead of Brown and Monowego, who decided it was the time to take the pit stop. So now we'll be waiting while Hafner in the Ferrari number 220 is trying to get close to the Bentley of Prentice. Of course, try to use his strength like his corner speed and his braking, as we've seen a little bit before. Look at how close he gets to Prentice, only the braking zones. And look how Jack is almost sliding. Oh, and after was almost having a go on the last corner of the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. It's still on for after the Apprentice. Look, almost trying a different way, a different line. And look, almost diving into the side of the barbecue, but there was just no space. Just no space. And so, if he had to stay behind Jack, who holds it to P8, but look how the audacity of the Ferrari driver who tries everything to try to get the better of Prentice, who really struggling now from the corner trajectory. So Hafner might have a go again. This is the battle to watch, because we might be moments from an attack from Hafner. Let's see now as they approach turn 10, the new Cope corner. Look again to the outside, tries to the inside, but Prentice is able to hold on to the trajectory, to the line, and stays into P8. Let's see if Hafner will have a go again in the Crocodiles. Goes really on the outside, but Prentice is having none of it. Stays ahead. And it's still on. One of the battle to watch as Kalugin goes into the pits. Unless we see someone. Look, Hegemans of Battison as the full driver is trying to take a comeback after starting from the pit lane. Hegemans is up to P15. good overtake by the fourth driver. Of course, will be frustrated by how the situation has unfolded after his P4 and qualified session. Now it's P15. Let's see if he manages to climb up another position in the process while his races will continue. Now back to Hafner and his hunt to Jack Prentice. Let's go on board with Hafner in the heart of Prentice. And as you have seen, Hafner have committed a rare mistake while pushing hard to try to take the advantage of Jack Prentice, and he's forced to take into the pits alongside Adam Sharpe. Really unfortunate for Hafner. Taking him back, bite again by the cheetah, but it's also scheduled of the cheetah in turn 15. Well, you see back, it looks like Gedman is finally... Looks like Gedman has finally managed to get past Rainer, so he's up into P11 ahead of the Mercedes driver, who lost that overtake in the process. Sorry, Chris. Let's see if he managed to give us another overtake on Sefontaine for the provisional top 10 spot. As you look how close he gets into the Mustang back. Really good on the corners. And while we'll see how the strategy will unfold. Guga has said, I think will be at the cut for Eger. She lost many time behind Mac, but yes, he said, you can go to Kyalami and don't touch the sausage. You're right indeed, Guga. Thank you for staying in to chatting with us. But to look at the Prentice brother goes into the pit, while Gedman is going to try an all-out stint for getting ahead of Sefontaine. While Irish, as you said, now has the opportunity to regain much time on Godefroy, or Mac Godefroy, or having free track. Of course, his pace is none compared to Sergio Hernandez, who's up into 7.3 seconds, the gap. Now 6.7, recovered a little, the Mercedes driver. Still not even close to try to take a real challenge to the Spanish driver, as we're near the halfway point of the race. Let's see now, German again on the back of Sefontaine. Sefontaine able to hold on, take his line, while Rainer tries to retry eventually to take back his position. And now Wither is into the pits as well, so it's all folding out as Sefontaine is coming to the pits as well as Rainer behind him. So Gedman continues while Sefontaine and Rainer will stop as well as Hagin Bands. Let's see when the pit stop will leave him compared to the other drivers. Right, well, we see that Luke Prentice has really taking a long distance from his brother Jack after the pit stop. Welser goes back on the track. Will be ahead of Luke Prentice.
We are halfway through, keep pushing.
And look at this, halfway through. It's the 30-minute mark. Forte, Rainer, Hagemans, all exiting the pit lane now. We all have to wait to see where they will end up. As getting ahead of Rainer, Hagemans comes just near Lino. Let's see if he's ahead of behind the Ferrari driver. Corner number 1, and Lino is ahead of Hagemans, who re-enters in P23, hoping now to continue his comeback at Kyalami. And Sergio Hernandez into the pits. Into the pits goes Sergio Hernandez. So he will hand the provisional lead to Irish, knowing though the Irish will have to come into the pits. Sergio Hernandez goes out. Let's see where he ends up. To Godfrey, who's now just in the last corner. So a strong advantage for the Spanish driver, who's claiming his line back on the racing line. Really dominant so far by Sergio Hernandez, who's all set for now to take the win on the opening round of the Taco Tuesday Season 21. Talking about Tier 1, of course. Well, let's see there. After Volkmann, very near as King is exiting the pit lane. Let's see if the two Ferrari drivers will get ahead or behind the McLaren, or it will slot in the between. And it's slot in between as Volkmann is behind King. Let's see if the cold tires will be a disadvantage for King in the opening corners. But seems that Volkmann cannot manage to get an attack on the British driver. So after P13, King P14, Volkmann P15. Irish into the pits already. Pospisil is to the lead because he yet to claim to be a pit stop. And look, has lapped a BMW driver of cold pits. Right now, Irish has done with his pit stop, but Sergio Hernandez is passing him already on the straight. But I don't think he's really far behind, maybe. Maybe he recovered some little time, Irish, I think. We have to wait a little bit. Irish has certainly get ahead of Godfrey, so staying out a few laps has certainly helped the German driver to claim the net P2. Back in the midfield, Volkmann on King, trying to take back P14. The one, but there's no space. It's a bit too long for try. King a little bit wide. It's gonna be mistake. It's certainly gonna mistake. It's a mistake from King. Let's see if Volkmann can prepare the better exit. Try to take advantage of King mistake into turn 2 and 3, but it seems like the McLaren driver has managed to stay ahead of Volkmann. Lucky for King that Volkmann wasn't able to expect some better lines to try to take advantage of his mistake in corner 2 and 3. All born, let's remember, on the long braking zone of corner 1. Pospisil into the pits. Now the last to pit up front is Geldman, because also Van der Slot is into the pits. From Pospisil, we have to watch out because it's a very fast pit stop. Let's see where this will end up, because I think he's ahead of Luke Prentice, and he's just behind Woods, so it's P8 for the Porsche driver. Very good stint so far for Pospisil, who's in for a net P7 finish. Now, let's head back to Hegemans, who's managed just in the last corners to overtake Lino, so he's now P18. He's continuing his comeback from last to P18. Now just 8 seconds behind Reiner. He will try his best to get the better position on him, to try to recover by Hegemans, which we remember had qualified P4 before a technical problem forced him to start at the back of the grid. Gelman on the pits now. Therefore, Hernandez has taken back the lead of the race here at Kyalami. So Hernandez is first, Irish is second, Godfrey is third. Let's see where Gedman will come back, in which position. As Sharpen goes past, Pospisil goes past. The Prentice brother will come past very shortly as well. We have to watch out for reference. The radius placement is now P17. Gelman has completed his mandatory pit stop. He's restarted. Let's see where will it be. I think Reiner might be ahead of him. And it is. So Gelman is P17, Reiner P16. That's how it is unfolded. The two Mercedes and Porsche driver. Well, let's stay with Volkman. A mistake from Jordan King, who's almost got an unsafe rejoin because really almost collided with the German driver, Volkman. So really a little bit of scary moment right there at corner number 6 of the sunset. Of course, the German driver, just Volkman, is trying everything to get ahead of Jack King, the Irish driver. I really wonder how we'll manage, because Volkman again with the frustration of having to do extra steps to try to take the better situation out of Jack King, the Irish driver, who's now holding into P11. And look at this, almost a dive bomb, and I think it was almost a touch, and again, bang! That's a crash. That was really a dive bomb unnecessary from Volkman, who's penalized Jack King, lost a couple of places. There are all the ingredients for a ticket used by the McLaren driver, who's now in P15. Too bad, because Volkman tried for a surprise attack, a surprise dive bomb into turn 1. Don't know, we didn't see if it was a contact, but of contact certainly, but certainly Jack King went wide and long and wide again at the turn one exit zone. So he lost the control of the car and slammed into Volkswagen Ferrari. So there will be such a discussion on the paddock, of course, for this episode. While we're back with Hegemans at this comeback mission now, only 1.9 seconds behind Gedman. So let's take on board on the Ford Mustang and see where he will finish. On board with the Ford Mustang of Hegemans. Hegemans on the back of Goodman, trying to put pressure on him to take a P17 away from the Porsche driver. As he now really has approached Goodman. Really good stint, really great race so far from Walter Hegemans. Really unlucky with the technical problem in the starting grid, but now hunting for more positions and more points possible. Let's see if it will be enough for trying to climb back at least, let's say, the top 15, for now occupied by Jack King. Not too far ahead. Oh, it has been mistaken. Sergio Hernandez has dropped back to P1 to P3. That's a shocking twist of events. Sergio Hernandez committed a mistake, and Eigisch has taken the lead of this race. Incredible development. I was almost given certainly the win for Sergio Hernandez following his great drive, but he's committed a mistake. Maybe he committed a mistake on the cheetah curb, and therefore Eigisch has managed to climb to P1, and the Belgian Geoffrey Godefroy is into second place. Incredible. That's why this is one of the best leagues. This is one of the series that everyone wants to win, because the level is so high, the pressure is so high that you cannot afford to make a single mistake, not even when you're set to have a strong leadership on your belt. And that's what happened with Hernandez, that have paid the price, and Eigisch is into P1. Now we all set to try to put back business as usual, as it was for him in season 16. Another one bites the dust at the curb of the cheetah corner. His car number 334, it is Kalugin. Oh, it was Jack King. I think it was Jack King who's yet again back into the pits, so it will really cost him dearly on the track position. Really unlucky for Jack King. Well, let's see, Sergio Hernandez 1.8 behind Geoffrey. Let's see if he manages at least to attack back on the second place, but this would be frustrating. We spoke about the Spanish driver, very fast, capable of winning races, but also inconsistent. And we see again why, as he was leading with 8 seconds margin on Irish. He's committed a mistake and he paid the price. Back into the midfield, Hegemans still on Gedman's tail, trying to take back P16. While I see the chat, always with Guka9, Tex Huka, that says, all these guys are good drivers. I have driven 2 seasons in this league. Indeed, they're all very good drivers. They're the best of the best. Tier 1 of the Formula Racing League community. So nothing left on the track by all of them. Well, now we see Hernandez having a little bit of struggle. Maybe his tires are all overheated from the mistake that he made. So maybe Hernandez will not have to worry about attacking Godfrey, but we have to worry about defending for the benefit of Tulloch. You can see Hernandez going very wide. He certainly has received a warning for track limits there. The Spanish driver try all methods to try to stay as far away as possible by Tulloch. But we're back again with Hegemans again. Madrid through penalty from Matteo De Andres in P27. Unfortunate for the Italian, from him and from Samuele Gerbino in P26. Really unfortunate, the race for the Italian colors. Let's see, maybe they will bounce back for the next races, starting from next week, where we'll be all heading out to Bathurst, Mont Panorama, for round 2 of the championship. Still 1 hour race of the scenery of South Wales. Will be really incredible to watch. It will be nice to come back to Australia after doing my first commentary here for Formula Racing League at the DK Mountain Class special event. So it will be really a good return and good feelings as well. Hoping that all the other guys, all the other drivers and the spectators seeing from the live stream will argue from me. And Gutka 9 asking if there will be an interview at the end of the race. Not that I know. I might ask, but I don't think there will be. So I don't think so, by the way. So don't hold your hopes up for only for be disappointed. I'm sorry if that will leave you, but that's all I can say for now, Gugas. Thanks for responding. While for Heidemans and Guzman, it all gets tricky because there are some lap cars as well as Raider who has lost a little bit of time. While Lucas Serpenstein trying to get ahead of Ake, well, Ake is really trying to overtake Volkmann, so it can be really look, I'm a client driver who just moved out of the way. Look at this line, this group of drivers find up for P11, 710, tries to dive up the side of turn 12. Oh no, turn 13, sorry, for the Crocodiles after car number 27 was disqualified until the hundreds. Really incredible, but great overtake by 17, who climbs up into P14 ahead, P13 ahead of Ack, while Gerling and Volkmann manage to take advantage to try to get at least some car. Oh, there's been a crash for Hagemas again. There's been a crash for Hagemas again, so it's all done and dusted. Too bad for the fault driver. Really unfortunate. Sergio Hernandez has managed to claim back second place on Geoffrey Godfrey, but Geoffrey is having none of it, and in turn 13 trying to take back second place, and he does so. Now it really ignited the battle for second place. Godfrey and Hernandez, Hernandez managed to take second place away from the hands of the Belgian driver, but he's saying, no, I will fight you back and claim back second place. Really great battle with Godfrey Hernandez batting it out on the track. With 8 minutes left to spare. Godfrey on the inside, Hernandez on the outside on the first braking zone of the track. Trying to the switcheroo, but Hernandez is not having any go so far. Let's see if he's having a go on turn 5 after the SS, but he's not really lucky in this instant after just get sweep. Let's see now in turn number 6. Desperate to try way past Godfrey after turn 6. Try all the way up to the outside. And what a move from Hernandez. What a move to conclude on the clubhouse, but he goes wide. He goes wide and Godfrey. So thank you very much. I'll take P2. And look at Tunok who say, may I have to go B3? That's it. Hernandez is saying, no, stay back. This is between me and Geoffrey. But look, he's having none of it. He's trying again to take advantage of the situation. And Tunok is now joining the fight for the podium places. Really nice battle for the podium places. But saying that after the mistake has come to do some little mistakes again. Some frustration of aggressiveness while trying to take back at least second place. But now really has to look back also on the mirror, because Tunok is right there ready to take on if Sergio will have any other mistakes on his end. Really great action on the last laps of the race here at Kyalami. Hope you're all enjoying it. Six minutes left with Godfrey trying to get away from Hernandez. Even though it's not simple, Hernandez is already getting back on the Belgian driver. And look how really on the limit the two McLaren drivers are pushing for second place. Really on the limit right up there. With Hernandez try everything. To get past Godfrey, while Tudoka is already getting far behind again. I think again it's Hernandez will reunite the battle. There it is. Here we go again. Round 2 between Godfrey and Hernandez for second place in the opening round of Taco Tuesday Season 21 in the Tier 1 category. And a dive bomb for Hernandez. Almost, and there was a touch. There was indeed a touch, and Tudoka almost avoided for a little much. The McLaren car ahead, and Hernandez takes back at second place. But the question is, was there a contact or it was a mistake on the fence from Godfrey? Really intense action, intense duel between Hernandez and Godfrey. We solved a favor of the Spanish guy. We managed at least to take P2 unless there are some other events in the economy of the race. For example, there could be no surprises from the Lamborghini of there must be Gerbanos. Yes, it's a Gerbino. While Irish up ahead is having the ride of his life. Now only 3 minutes and a few seconds for Irish. So, considering the time that we have left, there might be 2 laps left. The race also will end on lap 35, if my calculations are correct. Well, Sergio Hernandez has come a long way to secure for now P2, unless there are some events involving a ticket from Godfrey, the budget driver. We have also to secure P3 for Tudoka and Adam Sharpie, who really come closer to the podium zone. While in the midfield, Volkman trying everything goes. Sefontaine has gone past also the Ferrari driver, Volkman, to take a P12. Let's see if Volkman can do something to take back his place. It will be all over for him. Meanwhile, Geoffrey is managing to getting a distance, a safe distance to him, Tudoka and Sharpie. So I don't think there will be any more surprises from this point of view, and no surprises whatsoever from Irish, the German driver, the Switzer Racing League, Switzer Motorsport. Really brilliant in this race. 34 laps done and 1 lap remaining for this race. In the final lap for Irish to claim back business back as usual for him, and eager to kickstart his 2026 campaign, his season 21 campaign with a great victory. Sergio Hernandez will be second, but will be fuming with a mistake that disallowed him to have a winning debut on the season 21 of Taco Tuesday here at Kyalami. So a lot of remorse for the Spanish driver, although he managed to get back P2 even with some suspect contact. But in the meantime, he's managed to climb back to have damage limitation on his side while Jeffrey Godfrey is really looking forward to P3 and to a podium place, which is always a good start of the season for the McLaren driver. Now, we're on the final chorus for Irish. Colpit left him through at the Crocodiles. Now, we look at the Cheetah, and here we see the timer hits zero. Irish is on the final corner, and the Bentley driver, the German driver, champion season 16, manages to get season 21 to a flying start. Check a flag, and Irish wins race 1 here at Kyalami with a commanding drive, a consistent drive worth of a champion like he is. Sergio Nantes takes second place in the McLaren. What a shame for him, while Jeffrey Godfrey manages to get ahead of Tudor Sharpe by just half a second and to take the last place on the podium. Tudor fourth, Sharpe fifth, Wazer taking P6 ahead of a good post pistol. Good race for him. Then the Prentice brother with Luke in P8 and Jack in P9. Good race also for both of them. The last place of the top 10 will be taken by Hafner in the Ferrari, the first of the Ferrari 296 GT3 on the field. Hafner in P10, Gerling in P11, just not too far behind. Then we have the remaining 4 Mustang, Gonçalves Fontaine in P12, it crosses the line. Then Volkmann in P13, the 2 Porsche, Hack and Gunman in P14, P15, P16 for Reiner, P17 for Müller. We managed to get ahead of the group with Monoweg, Kalugin and Postel. So will be P17 for Müller, then Monoweg, Kalugin, Postel. Oh, a little slide from Monoweg. Let's see, and he manages to stay ahead of Kalugin by less than a tenth of a second. Then, from the last class to take the finish line, it will be Manuel Marcolino, who I think it might be a little bit shortage of fuel, but we managed to cut the checker flag in P21. To see the checker flag and take some points in the bag, but the protagonist of today's race, Irish, claims the top spot, takes back to the victory for the season 21 Taco Tuesday, and that's a rocky start for him, the German, and for his team. Then Sergio Nantes in P2, Jeffrey Godfrey P3 to complete the podium. The Tulloch, Sharpie, Woozer, Pospisil, Prentice, Luke Prentice, Jack Prentice, and Hafner to complete the top 10, and it was, let me say, a good race, and of course Guka said regarding the episode between Sergio Nantes and Godfrey, I think there was no contact. Of course, we'll see. You might be right. Also, of course, it will be the duty of the drivers and the stewards eventually to try to analyze the situation. But season 21 is already very well off underway with a good race, very intense race. Not getting many much overtakes Kyalami, not that we have been expected, but certainly some good action, some mistakes, rare mistakes, and really some good fights as well that were worth watching with us. So really good to be back with the Taco Tuesday Season 21. Tier 1 that got underway here at Kyalami. We'll be back next week at Monte Panorama, and of course there will be no interview, just to respond to the question, at least for now. So for tonight is all I can say. We're at the closing stages of the live streaming, so thank you everyone to interactive with us and to watching us in the opening race of the Taco Tuesday Season 21 in the Tier 1. We'll be seeing back next Tuesday at Bathurst for the same 60 minutes of action that you all love. I'm Andrea Mattavelli, and from me, it's a good night.